very good evening, viewer. You're most welcome to the Nilecast only on West Nile Television, where we give you the daily news bulletins of the day. Every day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name's Okumringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories, let's first have a look at the news making headlines today. In the headlines tonight, UNATO politicians and the general public eulogized the late Grace Amia Onyertho. 5 staffs of the Post Bank Ara branch detained over allegations of theft of over 130 million shillings. And Mpunga defies Bobi Wine, refuses to resign. This and more in the Nilecast News Bulletin. It's the 2nd of March 2024. You're most welcome to the Nilecast only on West Nile Television. Now let us dive into some of the stories of the evening. During the burial of the late Grace Amia Onyertho, the former teacher at Nebi Primary School, who succumbed to cardiac arrest early March, the Bishop of Nebi and Catholic Diocese, Right Reverend Raphael Ponyum Wokorach, has advised the civil servants to always seek for guidance from the Holy Spirit as they serve the nation. She was laid to rest at a marital home in Andibu Village, Panyango Sub-County, Pakwach District. Alfred Jawok has more.
The bishop made this revelation this afternoon at Andibu Village, Panyango Sub-County, Pakwach District, during the burial of Grace Amia Onyertho, the former teacher at Nebi Primary School, who succumbed to cardiac arrest early this month. The bishop further urged parish priests to sensitize Christians to always seek timely health checkups. The bishop also appeals to friends and families not to give burden to the bereaved family by demanding high cost of living during burials.
She in her life, she lived like she wanted to be always in the company of God. She took care of her faith and lived diligently what is required of her. At least the witness she left behind us shows some signs of steadfastness in faith. She was very, very regular in celebrating the Eucharist, even of the week. And her commitments in the different groups and associations she belonged to, she was visible. She was visible like the lamb that is laid and put on the lampstand.
Meanwhile, Grace Kyuchin Freedom, the state minister for northern Uganda, who was in attendance during the burial, thanked members of parliament who managed to come and support their colleague, Honorable Emmanuel Onyertho, who lost his wife. Kyuchin told the mourners that the government is willing to support fishermen living along water bodies.
Cry because of arrest of fish of business communities in Pakwach and in other areas also brought in this decision. And yesterday as I was coming, I was very keen to see. The government has good policy. The government wants to promote the fish industry, but the government cannot also tolerate wrong. There are a few activities that have not been right. The fish business, the business women who were arrested here at Pakwach spent 9 days before they could be sorted out. If there is any wrong, we cannot tolerate adding another wrong, and we think we are working well. So the Prime Minister again said, especially for Pakwach here, that there has to be a one-stop center for all the checkings. As you are crossing, you will find a checkpoint of the fish department under UPDF. Then you cross again another 100 meters, you find URA. Then another 50 meters, you'll find police. This does not give us good image. So the Prime Minister directed in my hearing, that's why I want to report it here, because when that incident happened, I stayed for 3 hours at the bridge. I couldn't. The RDC slept 2 nights at the bridge together with the business women because they could not move. So the Prime Minister had directed that has to be consolidated into a one unit so that business can be transacted together within a short time and also in a modernized and in a clean way.
However, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Thomas Tayebwa, who was the chief guest, conveyed the condolence message from the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Anita Mong, who could not make it for the burial. Tayebwa tasked men to love their women as Emmanuel Onyeto did to his lovely wife.
One thing I want to really appreciate about you is the way you've been a committed husband, a committed father. A very, very committed husband. Because we share the love. You've loved grace in each and every way. And the Bible makes it very easy for us. A man who loves his wife loves himself. That's it. You cannot love yourself if you don't love your wife. So, Emma is in my grab, and I want to thank you for being loyal, for loving your wife. And I'm sure wherever she is, she's resting in peace that my husband did everything good for me. Of course, when you lose a partner, it's difficult sometimes to even have someone you can confide in, share secrets.
The late Grace Amia started her career at a Ferry Primary School in 1999 to 2024. She was promoted as Deputy Teacher at Navy Primary School before her demise on 28th February 2024 at Navy General Hospital. She was laid to rest at her marital home and Depot Village, Panyango Sub-County, Pakwach District. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories this evening, the Territorial Police of Arua Central Division has detained 5 staffs of Post Bank Arua branch in Arua City following allegations of theft of over 138 million shillings. Take a look. The Territorial Police of Arua Central Division has detained 5 staffs of Post Bank Arua branch in Arua City following an allegation of theft of over 138 million shillings.
It's true that the Territorial Police of Arua Central Business Division have detained 5 staffs of Post Bank Arua branch in their custody following an allegation of theft of Post Bank money which has been put on them. The 5 who were arrested and detained at Arua Central Business Division custody are Lakweni Leonard, Operations Manager, Post Bank Branch Arua; Femi Walter, the Customs Service Officer; Nunkunse Resti, the officer, the banking officer; Tenua David, the banking officer; and Olara Brian Okidi, the banking officer.
The West Nile Regional Police spokesperson, Senior Superintendent of Police Josephine Anguchia, in an interview with the press stated that a general inquiry was opened for the 7 suspected staffs on the 5th of December 2023 following complaints from their supervisor, which prompted an investigation with a team of Post Bank Kampala officials realizing that the money to the tune of 138,685,450 shillings wasn't accounted for.
According to the information we got, a general inquiry file was opened on them in December, that's on December 5th, February 2024, following complaint by their supervisor, and the general inquiry file was numbered 21 of 2023. So following the opening of the general inquiry file, investigations have been going on, and a team came from Post Bank headquarters, Kampala, trying to do a cash count at the bank, and that was when they realized that money to the tune of 138,685,450 was not accounted for. So on the 28th February 2024, the 7 bank officials attached to Post Bank Arua branch were called for a disciplinary session at their head office in Kampala, and police was also notified of the disciplinary session. However, later on, a decision was taken by the country head of Post Bank in Kampala. So as I speak, these 5 people are detained at Arua Central Business Division custody pending investigation. And the preliminary charge which has been put on them is theft of the bank money to the tune of 138,685,450 Ugandan shillings. And this case file will be forwarded to Resident State Attorney Arua for perusal and legal advice. So upon advice from RSA Arua, appropriate action will be taken by our investigating officers in Arua Central Business Division.
Okumaringa Christine, for West Nile Television, Nilecast. And more in our stories this evening, Matthias Mpunga has firmly declared that he will not succumb to the calls of the resignation of his position from the parliamentary commissioner within the National Unity Platform. The National Unity Platform leadership officially communicated that they had urged Mpunga to step down from his current role, citing allegations of corruption and acceptance of illicit funds. Mpunga, however, maintains that the payment he received was both legitimate and in accordance with the law. Refusing to be swayed by what he labeled as a small group of family interests, Mpunga emphasized the need to focus on larger issues at hand, pointing to the concerns about the lack of transparency in the party's management and the allegedly mistreatment of the other leaders within the National Unity Platform. And more in our stories this evening, the AntiCorruption Court in Kampala has extended its criminal summons against the Karamoja Affairs Minister Mary Goretti Kituntu, requiring her to appear in court on March the 19th, 2024 and be charged with causing government financial loss of 1.5 billion shillings. The summons were initially issued last month and were on Thursday extended by the acting senior principal grade 1 magistrate Abat Asimwe after Kituntu failed to show up on medical grounds. The same court has also extended summons for one of Kituntu's co-accused, Tracy Atuhaire, the accountant from the Office of the Prime Minister, after the prosecution's William Moses Ntumwa informed the court that although they have extracted the summons, they have not been able to serve her. The prosecution case is that between February and June 2024, while performing her duties as the Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Kituntu failed to conduct various peace-building activities in Karamoja sub-region, knowing or having reason to believe that her omission would cause financial loss, that indeed it allegedly caused the loss of Uganda shillings 1.5 billion to the government of Uganda.
24 stories continues to break in the world of sports. But let's kickstart our discussion with what is happening within the country of Uganda as different sporting activities right now. They are doing preparation ahead of they are doing preparation, and as in they are doing extremely very well. About cricket cranes, the team of cricket, I'm talking about Uganda, they also preparing ahead of African Games, not forgetting about under 20 national team of Uganda. This is also one of the sides that is currently preparing ahead of African Games. And according to the report, African Games is set to kickstart from 7th of this particular month and will conclude on 24th of this particular month. Not forgetting about Uganda national women team. They are also preparing ahead of African Games. Away from that, another story which I feel I should not leave out for you this evening is all about Saudi Arabia, this time making a formal bid to host the 2034 FIFA World Cup. Recently, the World Cup of 2022 was hosted also in Asia by Qatar. This time, they want to host it in 2034. We are waiting to see if FIFA will approve that. Yet the only country, I mean Saudi Arabia right now, they are the only country bidding to host the World Cup of 2034. Away from that, remember we are still into international sports and narrowing it to European sports. All about the updates of what is coming in the games that are set to be played today and tomorrow in all the top leagues we have in Europe. Right now, a game is going on between the team of Chelsea and the team of Brentford. And right now it's still 1-1 tie. The game is already into second half, and a game is also going between West Ham and the team of Everton. This game is taking place at Goodson Park, the home ground of Everton. Still a barren draw between the two sides. The game is also into second half. Fulham right now is leading Brighton and Hove Albion by 2-0, and the same scoreline Newcastle right now is having over the team of Wolves. I mean also leading Wolves by 2-0, and Liverpool, they have traveled away to Nottingham Forest, and first half had ended in a barren draw 0-0. As I talk right now, the game is also into second half, still a barren draw. Spurs is yet to find the back of the net against Crystal Palace. I mean the game is still also 0-0. After this, let's kick off. We'll see a game between Aston Villa up against Luton Town, and this game will be at 8:30 East African time. This is the update coming from English Premier League. Then tomorrow, games shall also be there. The big over the weekend will be Manchester derby between Manchester City and the team of Manchester United. For Arsenal, they will be playing on Monday in Monday Night Football, and the game will be at 11 p.m. East African time, and Arsenal will be taking a trip away to Sheffield United. Meanwhile, in Bundesliga, I can confirm to you, yesterday there was a game between Freiburg and the team of Bavarians. The pressure still keeps on piling on the team of Bayern Munich as they again had to draw the game with Freiburg. It ended 2-2, and a game for Bayer Leverkusen come tomorrow. In case the win against Cologne come to extend the point to in and up against Cologne in to beat into the hands of Freiburg. And as I talk right now, the game is almost coming to an end between Borussia, the team of Union Berlin, and Borussia Dortmund is leading by 1-0. And also in Italian Serie A, yesterday there was a game between AC Milan and the team of Lazio Roma. AC Milan managed to collect all the 3 points after edging out Lazio Roma by 1-0. Unfortunately, the team of Lazio Roma had 3 red cards. One of the players who got a red card was the former midfielder of Arsenal who went to Olympique de Marseille, now playing for Lazio Roma. I am talking about Matteo Guendouzi. Meanwhile, in Spanish Primera Division, Real Madrid is now widening the points gap between themselves and teams that are following Real Madrid keenly, and they will be taking a trip away come tonight up against the team of Valencia. Meanwhile, for Girona, the team which is sitting second will be playing a team called Real Mallorca, and then come tomorrow, you will be expecting to be a game between Athletic Bilbao and the team of Barcelona. Not forgetting about also one game to be played between Atletico Madrid and the team of Real Betis. I've already given the updates in German Bundesliga, English Premier League. You talk about Italian Serie A, and also tomorrow Inter Milan will be entertaining a side called Meanwhile, the biggest fixture in Italian over this weekend will be between Napoli and the team of Juventus. Let's wrap up everything with what is happening in the world of transfer. Right now, some clubs in Italian Serie A, they have set their eyes on Arsenal midfielder called Jorginho. Recently, in fact, before coming to English Premier League, he was playing for Napoli. After Chelsea acquiring the services of Sarri by then as a head coach, he followed him to Stamford Bridge, and with his time at Stamford Bridge, he managed to win UEFA Champions League with them, UEFA Europa League, and he, in fact, before moving to London, joining their arch-rivals Arsenal, he won so many trophies with the team of Chelsea. Right now, he's not a starter in that team of Arsenal and clubs in Italian Serie A. You talk about Juventus, Napoli themselves, the former employers. You also mentioned Lazio. They are all interested in the signature of Jorginho. Summer transfer window is nearing. We shall watch the space come over the summer transfer window. It has been me, Benson Pastore, doing it for you in the world of sports. Let's link up again on Monday for the same program of NILE Sports News.
And more. And with that, viewer, that marks the end of the Nilecast only on West Nile Television. Thank you always, viewers, for taking the time to be with us from the beginning of the Nilecast to the end of the Nilecast only on West Nile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that